did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/at Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311.
All right, are we ready, sir? Okay. I would like to call to order the Administrative Law Advisory Committee's Hearing Officer Desk Book Work Group. And with that, I will begin by noting there are no members of the public present. And so we will start with, we'll just follow the agenda here, if that's all right with the committee. Hearing Officer Desk Book updates, tasks, and assignments. Okay, so the printers at our office don't work this morning, so I couldn't print or type anything, so I'm left with my chicken scratch. When I was looking at the tasking, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it, for the hearing officer assignments, number one is harmonize hearing officer system rules of administration with the desk book. I looked at it, I reviewed the rules of administration in light of the context of the desk book and did not see any conflicts or overlap. But Christy, since you're with the Supreme Court, do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm not aware of any changes that need to be made or are intended to be made, but I think some of that depends on then if there's anything that gets updated in the desk book,
Of course.
then that affects this, yeah.
Yeah, but currently,
Currently, I'm not aware of any, no.
okay, thank you. And did you see anything? You have to
No,
forgive me.
no, I have not seen anything.
Tell me your name again, sir. I'm sorry.
Craig Maxey.
Craig Maxey. I should know that, Craig. I apologize. With that, and subject to the reservation that it might need to be revisited, should any amendments to the desk book trigger some sort of harmonization there, we can do that. I also reviewed the Part 2A of the Rules of the Virginia Supreme Court, which is the rules that are applicable to the Virginia Administrative Process Act. And also through that, new cases and that may affect our work. And what I did with respect to that review, just in the interest of full disclosure, the last time that the ALAC revised the hearing officer desk book was in December of 2023. So I, at that point, assumed that everything prior to that date had already been reviewed and only looked forward. I did not find anything with respect to anything that's been revised since 2023, so it's my understanding, and of course I'm open to if anybody else has looked at that.
So I think that in looking at, there are some broken links, I think that,
Oh, okay.
and that's often what I have, part of my contribution has been, since this is not my, I'm not practicing necessarily in this area. So just to ensure that the links, and if there's anything, that they're up to date and they work. And if anything were to be added, we would just make sure that, because in the desk book, there's hyperlinks out to other sites and the code sections and so forth.
Okay.
I'll just add that that's, Christie's correct, that's all that means. And did you find some current broken links?
I did find one. It was to one of the Pepperdine, I think, articles. Trying to find my, which one I looked at. I may not have marked it, but I'm happy to, and I also, I hold the Word document for this, so
Okay.
I can go ahead and make that, because it is then posted on our website.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but I was just going to say, I'm sorry, I thought I had marked it, but it's one of the links out to where there's additional guidance, I think, like I said, through Pepperdine's site. So I guess the decision needs to be made. I can share that, or, if it is not working, to figure out if it is just moved or if it's no longer available.
Okay.
But,
And you're willing to undertake that?
yeah, I'm happy to do that, yeah.
Thank you very
Thought I
much.
had that, sure. I'm not aware. Again, I defer to those of you all who practice in this area and are more familiar with that, but I'm not aware of any.
I'm not aware of anything, and as a current administrative law judge, it would be great if there were more resources, but for me, it's generally just the code, the regulations, which are already out there, and then to the extent it's helpful, the desk book.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
That's correct. It was Jennifer and Michelle, both of whom were on ALAC. It was Jennifer and Michelle, both of whom were on ALAC. We're discussing this and forwarded it to you.
Okay.
Yes, it does. We're given authority in the regulations. The general authority to issue subpoenas, of course, it comes from the APA. There's also something in our basic law that gives ABC authority to issue subpoenas, and then the regulations themselves do delegate authority to the administrative law judges to issue subpoenas. There's also separate ways authority is delegated through just internal delegation policies. But that's how we get our authority. It doesn't actually come from the APA, but it, because it has to move through the Virginia ABC board.
Okay.
So I'll say that I took a little bit of a look at it because I was curious, because when I see somebody doesn't have the authority to issue subpoenas, I'm like, well, I issue subpoenas all the time. Maybe
Right.
this is something I should be aware of. And in looking at the statute, the desk book, I don't really see a conflict. I don't see an issue, except that either the administrative law judge or hearing officer, sorry, might have been mistaken about his authority or her authority. It's also possible that that specific agency has chosen not to delegate that authority, in which case, to me, that's something beyond our scope, because the statute says the agency or its designated officials, well, if they don't want to share that authority, or they want to limit it by saying you can't subpoena our officials, to me, that's, whether that's good or bad, that's not really a procedural issue that's within our scope. It's the agency's.
It's more of a jurisdictional issue,
Right.
I hear what you're saying.
Right. So I think that I'm happy to look into it some more. I don't know if knowing the specific agency could get to the root cause in the case the Attorney General's office was concerned about. But I think that would be the only avenue I see for making an improvement. I don't think it would be appropriate for the APA to say all hearing officers or all administrative law judges have the authority to issue subpoenas, because before I was at ABC, I was at the Virginia Employment Commission. Well, and there you have 3 different levels of judges or hearing officers who issue, their deputies who issue determinations, their appeals examiners who conduct hearings, their administrative law judges who issue the final agency decision. And the subpoena power is not shared among all of them. So I think for good reason, for efficiency reasons, just to make sure that the thousands and thousands of things can get processed, and then the ones where there are appeals can then make sure that record is created in a fair way with the subpoena power. So I really wouldn't want to see it go any further than it is now, unless the will of the work group is that there is an outstanding issue with the APA.
Christy, you have any thoughts?
I mean, I think that the comment was made in order to, with the question of does the desk book, the thinking that the desk book is not consistent with 4022. I think it is consistent. So I don't, but the one thing that I think we could add, we do address the appointment letter, but we don't address regulation. So maybe we could add something in there about, the authority to issue may be addressed in regulation or in the appointment letter. But other than that, I don't think, I think there's I don't think that they have just inherent authority. It has to be specifically designated to them, so.
I agree with that. 2.2 4022 clearly makes it that way,
Yeah.
in my view.
Right.
It sounds like we're all on the same page there. So if I'm hearing you right, what you're basically saying is maybe some clarifying language in the desk book helpful.
Right, just to, the appointment letter, I think the person who was commenting brought that issue that, perhaps they need to revise the appointment letter, but then I think also, as we've talked about, it's also specified in regulation. So we could also point to that as another way of designating that authority to the hearing officer, so.
Okay.
Just without knowing how every agency handles things, whether it's in regulation or statute, I think it may be best to reference, the basic law and the regulation, because it's possible something could be delegated in the basic law as well. Though that seems less likely, I would hate to foreclose that if there is a law out there saying that the administrative law judges or hearing officers have that authority. Well, that says that ABC can issue the subpoenas, and hold hearings, conduct hearings, and things of that nature. And then at ABC, it's then spelled out in more detail who can issue the subpoenas on behalf of the board in the regulation.
Okay.
I'd just be concerned with, just because right now it seems like perhaps hearing officers are only looking at the appointment letter if they're looking at the desk book.
Okay.
I don't want them to I want them to be aware that their sources of authority, whatever legal authority might be given to them, not just, 1 or 2 places they're allowed to look.
Christy, do you have any thoughts?
I agree. I think that makes sense, yeah.
Makes infinite sense.
Yeah, I'm happy to work with that. And if I don't have contact information, I'll send it to Andrew and put him to work. Yeah.
Okay. Public attendees, then there is no need for public comment.
Yeah, as long as we have this language done sometime in November, we can have a work group meeting that leads directly into a full committee meeting and knock that out pretty quickly.
Sir?
No, that's certainly fine. I'm glad that was clarified. I was going to ask if we needed to schedule another meeting or have something to get together to vote on these earth-shattering changes that we're discussing.
Yeah, well, actually, truth be told, given that the situation.
The Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C-311. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, C311.